Hey guys, Miss Hanna here, and it's time for some more bedtime stories with Miss Hanna. So we're going to start out with Tallulah, the Tooth Fairy CEO. And this is by Dr. Tamara Pizzoli. And the pictures, they're by Federico Fabiani. Okay, you ready? All right. Now, this is Tallulah. Tallulah, the Tooth Fairy, has been in the tooth business for as long as she can remember. She truly loves her work. That's because looking after children's pearly whites is more than just Tallulah's job, it's her career. Tallulah's passion for teeth led her to start a company called Teeth Titans Incorporated. Now it's the largest tooth collection organization on the planet, and she is the CEO, or Chief Executive Officer. Later, she founded the National Association for the Appreciation and Care of Primary Teeth, also known as the NAACPT. Like any notable mogul, Tallulah finds she is most productive when she strikes a healthy balance between the three P's: her passion, her purpose, and what pays. So when did the obsession with teeth begin? I like to think of it as more of a calling. Thus, Tallulah adheres to a strict schedule that keeps her both busy and fulfilled. On Monday morning, she has coffee and tea with no sugar. It'll rot your teeth. And then a quick workout session. Wednesday mornings are reserved for a chat with her therapist. Tuesday and Thursday mornings, they are dedicated to yoga, Pilates, and errands. Friday mornings are for visiting museums. She finds exhibitions about teeth to be particularly fascinating. Each afternoon is dedicated to training other tooth fairies. What? You're not surprised, are you? Well, of course there's more than one tooth fairy. There are way too many lost teeth in the world for just one fairy to manage. Tallulah is a tooth fairy after all. She's not Santa Claus, though she did once have lunch with Santa's lovely wife, Charlene. Excuse me, Sam, could I have another Irish coffee, please? The Delilah Show. I just became swamped with all the work, so I had to hire additional fairies. Sure, I'm in it for the teeth. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But the greatest satisfaction is knowing that I'm providing a service to children around the world. Each and every fairy is trained by me. I oversee all the hiring. That's her interview on the Delilah Show. With such an effective recruiting strategy, prospective tooth fairies sign up in droves. Tooth Fairy Recruitment Event. Questions you may get but are not obligated to answer. How does the Tooth Fairy get in the house? What do you do with the teeth? How are you notified when a tooth is lost? And she says, the answers to these questions and more are in the top secret Teeth Titans Incorporated employee manual, to which you will have complete access if you join our team. Each evening, after an early dinner and a bit of relaxing, Tallulah begins her rounds as head tooth fairy. Sure, she could afford to sit around counting teeth and money, but nothing gives Tallulah quite the same thrill as sliding a shiny tooth out from under a child's pillow and inserting something gleaming and jingly or crisp and easily folded in its change. So that's just what she does, night after night. Most nights are pretty routine, but not all of them. Sorry about that, my pages are stuck. There we go. One evening, something unusual occurred. Tallulah had gone about her routine and was prepared to make her last stop at the home of Ballard Burchell. When she slid her hand underneath the boy's pillow, what she found was not at all a treasure of a tooth, but a note written by the boy himself. Dear Tooth Fairy, I had a tooth to give you, but I lost it. I hope you'll understand. Sincerely, Ballard. Tallulah the Tooth Fairy studied the note for a moment and then stated, "This looks nothing like me. Why do they always make me so tiny?" As it was her first time finding a note in place of a tooth, Tallulah pulled out her Teeth Titans Incorporated employee manual for reference, but she quickly remembered there was no information pertaining to what to do in case of a lost tooth, not just a wiggly tooth that fell out, but a tooth that was truly lost. Though she'd written the manual herself, Tallulah hadn't made any provisions for such a rare occurrence. She had a decision to make, and quick. Tallulah called an emergency meeting with her board of directors. These 7 tooth fairies were the best of the best in her company. She could rely on them for sound advice and direction on how to best address the dilemma. "In all my years as a professional tooth fairy," Tallulah began, "I have never had this occur. I'm truly stumped and would like your thoughts." A lengthy discussion ensued. "Leave a note that says, 'Sorry, kid, the proof's in the tooth.'" "He has to learn responsibility." "Well, no tooth is better than a rotten tooth. I think we should remit partial payment for rotten teeth or no payment at all." "It was thoughtful of him to leave a note." "Oh, raise your hand if you've never lost anything." "While we're on the subject of unusual circumstances, should we be giving extra for gold teeth?" "Tallulah, I'd like to discuss the lack of diversity on this board." "Maybe next week, Tom." Late that night, once Tallulah had listened to all the opinions given and reached a decision, she returned to Ballard's bedside to leave him a note of her own and a little something extra. "Dear Ballard, everyone misplaces things sometimes. Here's hoping you find your tooth. Next time, store your lost tooth in this patented Teen Titans Incorporated tooth compartment lanyard. It retails for $9.95 and is available on my website, but this one is my gift to you. See you soon, Tallulah, the Tooth Fairy CEO." Signed, the Tooth Fairy. P.S. Now you know why I wear the teeth I collect. They're easier to keep track of that way. And she left him a picture of herself. "Mom," called Ballard, "you'll never believe this." He hopped out of bed and ran to his mother to show her both the letter and the photo of the Tooth Fairy. Now, I noticed something I want you guys to look at. Look. See what happens? Only he can see the picture of the Tooth Fairy because we can't see her. Now, inside the Teeth Titans Incorporated tooth compartment lanyard was one more surprise from the Tallulah to the Tooth Fairy CEO, the shiniest gold coin you ever did see. What do you see there? Glasses. The end of Tallulah, the Tooth Fairy CEO. Now, my next book is called Not Quite Snow White, written by Ashley Franklin, illustrated by Ebony Glenn. Okay. Not Quite Snow White. I'm sitting back a little bit because my arms are a little sore. To Mom, the queen who taught this princess that a golden heart is worth more than a silver spoon, AF. For every girl who dares to dream, E.G. For Tamika, it was always the right time and place to dance and sing. I'll get a little closer. You can't see pictures. Okay, there we go. It's always the right time to dance and sing. Tamika had a hip-rolling happy dance, a swayful sad dance, a stomping mad dance, and a hair-flicking just because she felt fabulous dance. She sang high with the tweeting birds and low with the croaking frogs. She always shared her love of music and movement with an audience, stuffed and unstuffed. Tamika loved the stage. It was her perfect place. She was the star of every show, and she loved every show that she starred in. She had been a cucumber, a space cowgirl, a dinosaur, and her favorite part, a singing mermaid. On stage, Tamika felt she could be anything or anyone she wanted to be, and she had never been a princess. Now she would finally have her chance. Tamika was so excited that she went to both days of auditions for the Snow White musical. On the first day, she arrived super early. She helped friends with their lines, kept count for the dancers, and shooed butterflies from nervous tummies so songs could be sung. After the audition, Tamika heard some of the other kids whispering, "She can't be Snow White. She's too tall. She's much too chubby. And she's too brown." Tamika looked at her legs. Sorry, I'm trying to get the picture so you can see them better. Tamika looked at her legs. They were long. Maybe the kids were right. A princess shouldn't be taller than her prince, should she? She looked at her belly. Maybe what the kids said was true. She couldn't remember any chubby princesses. Tallulah looked at her skin. She was brown. How could a girl with brown skin play a princess like Snow White? Could those kids be wrong? Maybe she was wrong for wanting to be this princess. Tamika slouched and sucked in her belly. Oh, sorry, guys. She tried pulling down her sleeves, but there was no getting around being brown. For the first time, she didn't feel like dancing or singing. At dinner, Tamika didn't tap her feet along with or clang rhythms with her spoon. "Is something wrong?" asked her mom. "The other kids said I'm too tall, too chubby, and too brown. I'm not right for Snow White," said Tamika. "You've got it all wrong," Mom said. "You are tall enough, chubby enough, and brown enough to be a perfect princess." "Besides," said her dad, "Snow White is just pretend. You've always been my real princess. You're just enough of all the right stuff." He kissed her forehead. Tamika smiled. Maybe her parents were onto something. At the audition the next day, Tamika watched all the other kids get on stage and do their best. Go. Here's the whole thing. Okay, sorry. All right, there we go. She watched all the other kids get on stage and do their best. It was Tamika's turn at last. She remembered what her parents had said, but her long legs were still a little jittery. She closed her eyes and imagined she was singing and dancing for her favorite audience of friends, stuffed and unstuffed. Then she remembered the joy she felt when performing. Tamika knew she could do it. And she did. She shone like the star she was. She could act. She could dance. She could sing. She loved herself as much as she loved music and movement. Sorry, guys, I'm having a hard time with these pages today. All right, there we go. Tamika was a perfectly poised princess. When her audition was over, Tamika looked out to smiling faces. Tamika wasn't too much of anything. Maybe she was just enough of all the right stuff. And as you see, she won the part. The end. Now, for my next book, this one is called Superheroes Are Everywhere, and this one's by Kamala Harris, and it's illustrated by Michelle Renee Rowe. Now, superheroes are everywhere. says, "Faster than a rocket ship, stronger than a tidal wave, braver than a lion, superheroes always make the world better, no matter what goes wrong. Whenever there's trouble, superheroes show up just in time." When I was a kid, I was sure that superheroes were everywhere, blending in with regular people ready to do good at a moment's notice. I was determined to find them, so I started my superhero search right at home. Heroes make you feel special. It didn't take long to find one. I noticed my mom had a magic touch. Her hugs made me feel warm, safe, and even strong. She knew I loved good food, so she taught me her secret recipes, and we'd create huge, delicious meals together for our friends and family. I'd even cook some of the dishes all by myself. "See, Kamala," my mom would say, "you can do anything if you put your heart in it and try hard. Anything in the world." My mom was a superhero because she made me feel special. She believed in me, and that helped me believe I could do anything. Who makes you feel special? Heroes are people you can count on. My sister Maya and I did everything together: ballet class, piano lessons, bike riding, and board games. I knew that if I ever needed her, she'd be there. She was one half of our dynamic duo. When we felt sad, my mom would throw us an unbirthday party, so we'd feel better. Together we'd eat unbirthday cake, open unbirthday presents, and dance around the living room. Maya was always by my side. My sister was a superhero because she was someone I could count on. Who can you count on? Heroes make you feel brave. I kept searching for superheroes in other parts of my family. My dad wanted me to be fearless. Whenever we were at the park, he'd let go of my hand and call out, "Run, Kamala, run!" And I'd run as far as I could for as long as I could. My dad was a superhero because he made me feel brave. Who makes you feel brave? Heroes stand up for what's right. My grandmother was one of the smartest people I'd ever met, and she used her smarts and her voice to speak out for women who were being hurt and to teach them how to stay healthy. My grandfather used his voice to make India a free country. All of my grandparents in India and Jamaica were superheroes for standing up for what was right. Who stands up for what's right in your life? Heroes are best friends. My best friends and I cared about each other. When I was in kindergarten, I told a boy to stop teasing one of my best friends. And another time, that best friend helped me when I fell in the playground. We all wanted to feel safe at school. My best friends were superheroes because they made one another feel safe. Who are your best friends? Heroes are teachers. I loved my first grade teacher, Mrs. Wilson. She taught us about plants and flowers, sang songs with us from other cultures around the world, and revealed how tadpoles turned into frogs. Teachers like Mrs. Wilson are superheroes because they show us the whole wide world and help us chase our dreams. Who are your favorite teachers? Heroes are kind. When I looked, I found a superhero right down my street. Mrs. Shelton was our family friend and was like a second mom to me. She watched Maya and me while our mom was at work. We'd gobble up her homemade biscuits, peach cobbler, and gumbo for special occasions and pile into her car on Sundays for church. Mrs. Shelton treated everyone with love and respect. Her kindness made her a superhero to me. Who's kind to you? Heroes explore with you. Aunt Lenore and I chased fireflies and caught them in jars. Uncle Sherman taught me to play chess. Aunt Mary and I read book after book together, and Uncle Freddie took me to museums where we'd see dazzling artwork. My aunts and uncles, my mom's friends who were part of our family, helped me explore my world, and that made them superheroes. Who helps you explore? Heroes work hard. Even as I got older, I kept searching for superheroes. When it was time for me to go to college, I was excited to go where my Aunt Chris went to study, at Howard University. My grandmother hadn't had the chance to go to college, but she encouraged her kids, my mom, my aunts, and uncle, to study hard, and they did. My mom became a scientist, my Uncle Balu is an economist, and my Aunt Sarala is a doctor, and my Aunt Ginny works with computers. They were superheroes because they showed me that by working hard, I could be whatever I wanted when I grew up. Who do you know who works hard? Heroes protect people. After college, I wanted to become a lawyer like some of the people I looked up to. Thurgood Marshall, Constance Baker Motley, and Charles Hamilton Houston. They fought in court because they knew that people aren't always treated equally but should be. Like them, I wanted to make sure the law would protect everyone. These lawyers were superheroes because they protected people by using the power of words and ideas. Who protects you? Heroes make a difference together. Once I became a lawyer and then a senator, I worked with all sorts of people to help kids. Even better, I got to know amazing kids who want to make the world a better place. And you know what I learned? Superheroes are everywhere you look, even inside of you. Heroes are you. Are you kind, brave, and curious? Are you a best friend? Do you share? Do you treat people fairly? Do you lend a hand when other people need help? You're a hero by being the very best you. Now that's pretty super. The hero code. Do you want to be a superhero? It's easier than you think. The first thing you do is raise your right hand and say the words on the next page out loud. If you want to wear a cape while you do this, you can, but you don't have to. I promise to make people feel special. Be someone people can count on. Help people be brave. Stand up for what is right. Be a best friend. Be a good teacher. Be kind. Explore with my friends and family. Study and work hard. Protect people who need it. Make a difference when I can. I promise to be the very best me I can be. The end of Superheroes Are Everywhere by Kamala Harris. Now for our last book, which is a very important book. This book is by Brianna J. McDaniel and illustrated by Shane W. Evans, and it is called Hands Up. Now, let's start out here. At the beginning, it says hands up. Greet the sun, bold and bright, tiny hands up. Peekaboo, hands up. Morning, baby, time to get dressed, hands up. Stretch high, almost there, hands up. Gotta get clean, reach for the sink, hands up. Look, Kitty's drinking the juice she spilled. Whoops. Come on, little one, dry your tears. Here, hold the bun. Hands up. Ready for takeoff. Hands up. Please pick me, Mrs. B. Please pick me. Got my hands up. Adventure books live up top. Reach high, tippy toes, hands up. Graceful like Miss Misty, 5th position, hands up. Racing fast, wind whistling, hands up. It's all right, baby girl. I'll help. Hands up. The music flows through us. Amazing grace. In praise and worship, hands up. On the court, fired up, jump ball, hands up. For the win, defense, hands up. On top of the world, trophy to the sky, hands up. We begin small, but we grow big. Together we are mighty. High fives all around. Hands up. As one we say, hands up. The end. Thank you guys for reading my diverse books with me, and I hope you guys have a very good rest of your Sunday. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to brush your teeth, snuggle in, and have a very good night.